back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Deep Impact Podcast. I'm your host this evening, and I'm joined by Mark Carson, Jason Cephas.
Top of the morning to you.
Okay, here we go.
Yo.
And we got a special guest with us this evening, Mr. Zach Kaiser.
What up?
So that's a beautiful man up there.
Oh, thanks.
All the way up there, all the way up in the great state of New York.
Yes.
So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Everybody knows who we are.
Hello, everyone. I am Zach Kaiser. I went to high school with these guys, and now Bo is correct. I do live in New York, not New York City. I live upstate where it's very cold and very rural. So that's me. Hi.
Like living in Brilliant.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much same feel. Same feel.
So you're at what college? You're at Union
College, yeah.
Union College. What I can't pronounce the name of the town.
It's okay. It's Schenectady and Schenectady. That's all you gotta know.
Okay.
Bo has a geography degree and he can't pronounce a simple town like that. So I think that your geography degree is invalid, and I'd appreciate it if you never brought it up again. Thanks.
Listen, I'm pretty sure there's a Q in the name of that town, okay?
I don't care.
There's not.
Yeah, so even better. You're just an idiot.
There's not.
Yes, I am just an idiot.
So hey, Bo, we didn't ask what
You're
we're
our
drinking.
idiot.
Okay, shut up, Jason. All right, so yeah, what's since it is St. Patrick's Day, hence all of the green. So what are we drinking tonight, guys?
Got some good old proper 12 Irish whiskey in my Glencairn Masonic Lodge glass, and I got some apple moonshine that's green. So,
Jason, did you dye your water green tonight?
No, but I should have. That would have been.
oh, by the way,
Yeah,
Mom, if you're
that
watching,
would've been
this is not all moonshine. This is LaCroix and moonshine.
It's
This is all moonshine.
I went old school and I got a Guinness and a shot of some Jameson that I dyed green because I'm extra.
Okay.
So,
Can't wait for Bo to take that, and then it's gonna like paint his tongue green. There he goes.
I should have picked a different beverage. I have some Spotted Cow from New Glarus Brewery in Wisconsin, but I did not drink that. Right now, I have a Bud Light hard soda. Because they're pretty great. So this is the cherry cola of the pack. Very good.
Spotted Cow. I was like, I knew that was a Wisconsin beer. That was like
Yeah.
the Packers beer. I want to try
Yeah.
it. I've never
I
had
have a
it.
coworker from there, so she brought some back for us.
Nice.
oh, that's awesome. So
Is your coworker a Packers fan?
She is all things Wisconsin.
Well, then she's one of my new favorite people.
Yeah, I'll introduce you.
You should be like, you should watch this podcast simply because the guy that I know is a Packers fan. Go Pack.
So before this started, Mark was wearing a black shirt, and Amanda came up to him and goes, "Seriously, out of all the shirts that you have, you're not wearing a green one today. You got 60,000 green shirts."
No, I don't have quite that many. I could wear a cheesehead instead of this, but
Yeah. But so Zach, we got you on this episode tonight because well, first off, we're missing a couple people, and you're kind of the last option. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that
I'm
you know,
kidding.
not a great way to start.
See you later, man.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm just being an asshole. We go way back with Zach, all the way sophomore year of high school for me. I drove him more places than I care to count. Every morning to school.
No car for me. Sorry.
Yeah. But Zach, you're in a play
I am.
up in New York.
Yes.
So you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so I haven't done anything with any plays or musicals since about 2016, and I missed a lot. So I was just looking for things to go see up here, and saw that a small little community theater down the street was hosting auditions. And so I was like, let's see what comes of this. So I auditioned and landed a role in Violet the musical. I can talk about what that is.
Absolutely. That was going to be my next question.
Great. Yeah. So Violet was on Broadway. It follows a story of this girl Violet, who unfortunately as a kid got hit in the face with an axe blade, and so she has a ginormous scar on her face, but grows up really feeling that she's not valued and doesn't really see the beauty in her, and sort of is holding resentment towards her father, who is the one that hit her with the axe blade. So she gets on this bus and she's on the way down to the South to visit this mega church preacher who she watches on TV and idolizes for doing spontaneous healings and all of these things. So she's hoping to get healing for her scar on her face and to finally become beautiful. On the way down, she meets two soldiers. I'm one of them. I'm playing Flick. And so classic love triangle. It's two guys competing over one girl. And so she gets down there, realizes that things aren't as they seem, and that sort of the mega church that she saw on TV was simply just an act, and that it kind of helps her realize that maybe she needs to take a look inside of herself because her scar's already been healed, kind of thing. And so all she really wants is just for her dad to accept her and to love her and to, get that closure from that happening. So that happens, and she ends up falling in love with one of the soldiers, and I will not say which soldier it is, but
he's got a grin on his face. I'm thinking it's him.
It might be me.
So. It might be Zach. Okay.
Yeah.
The good guy always gets the girl.
50 shot. So Zach, Bo says Zach. I say the other guy. So that's my guess.
Yeah. So it's a cool
Monty.
show.
That was the other one's name, right? Monty. That's my guess.
So you said you hadn't really done any acting, and you said you wanted to see what was going. What made that flip, or that switch flip, that you're like, I'm going to audition for this?
Yeah, really just time. When I was in undergrad and still had a lot of time to do it, it was sort of just a given because I was at school, and so the program was there. And then when I went to grad school, I had night classes, and just the nature of my job, I worked in residence life at a university, and that's how I got my start in higher ed. But there's really just no time outside of that to devote to being in rehearsals and performances and things like that. So really the reason why I decided to get back into it now is just because I've switched careers. I'm still working in higher ed, but I just have more free time, and I was looking for something else to fill my evenings, other than being super bored and going to sleep super early.
So what do you do? You said you did residence life. What do you do now?
Yeah, now I am the assistant director of fraternity and sorority life here. So fun fact, Greek life was actually founded here at Union College in 1825. Some history for you. We had 2 triads of fraternities that were founded here. So super cool to be a part of that, and super cool not to be in residence life anymore.
I was going to say, both
you got a Phi Delta there?
What'd you say?
You got a Phi Delta there?
We did have Phi Delta, but Phi Delta is no longer on this campus, not for bad reasons. I think it was more membership, and couldn't sustain their house. So
gotcha. Yeah, Jason and I are both members of Phi Delta Theta. So
sword and shield will never fall.
That's right.
Yep.
And I hung out with them a lot, so I'm not honorary, but I know a lot of them. So
yeah. You're not an honorary Phi Delta, but you're an honorary Phi Delta.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Phi Delta, I think we still owe 2 of your Phi Delta brothers a 6-pack of beer from losing that golf match like 6 years ago. But all right, so you said that you did a lot of performances, throughout high school. I mean, you were the lead freshman year of high school. I'm pretty sure you were the lead every year that I was in high school, just because you're amazing. But so my question is, out of all the performances that you've done, high school, undergrad, all of that, which was your favorite performance that you ever did?
Charlie Brown.
What did you say? What did you say?
Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah, Charlie Brown was fun. But
that was not my favorite, by the way. Just so I put that out there.
I'd say my favorite was Shrek that we did my senior year, just because that was one of the shows that like everyone got a chance to shine. And so while there are the leads, Shrek, Donkey, and Fiona, like everyone had a major part in that show. And so just getting to see people explore different parts of who they are and sort of just put their all into a character and sort of bring a story that everyone knows and loves to life, and sort of be one of the first people in the Valley to do it was super cool. So I'd say that was one of my favorite experiences.
I was gonna say, I remember coming back and helping with the lighting and sound for that play and getting to see it from up above, and you guys did pretty damn good.
Thanks. Yeah, it was.
But
I don't think all of us were in a musical or a play together. However, we were in theater in high school. So I know we're interviewing Zach, but Bo, what was your favorite play or musical you've been a part of?
well, I mean, I was more, when I was in theater, I was more like ensemble. Like I wasn't really like, I didn't break out of my shell all that much. But I would say the one that I had like, it wasn't even really a big role, but it was Wizard of Oz. I just Miss Cebulski kind of gave me free reign to do whatever I wanted to do with the flying monkey character, and I kind of just wreaked havoc on everything.
You did.
Which, if you guys remember me from high school in theater, that was kind of my MO. Between Mark and I playing football on stage and bringing hockey sticks into the band or into the theater, and
Your story.
so yeah, that was kind of like, I don't want to say that was my safe space in high school, but between that and the band room, that was where I was most myself,
For sure. Jason?
Jason?
Oh, sorry, yeah, Jay.
For like, okay, emotionally, like the one that I put the most into was Phantom of the Opera my senior year, but the most fun that I had was doing Fiddler. Obviously, Mark had a big role in that and coming back, and it was that one was a lot of fun. A lot of the time it was all of us just joking around, and Mark kind of, after being graduated for how many years it was at the time, he kind of just came back, and he kind of became one of the guys in high school again. And I will still never forget the matinee. We're all following you with that cart, and the wheel pops right off, and that thing slams on the stage, and you turn around and look at us who are frozen, and you're like,
I was like, pick it up.
The amount of things that would go wrong during the shows or right before the shows was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was always, I liked being in theater. Obviously, I think I have a couple fun memories, obviously coming back after being graduated and being asked to play Tevye and Fiddler on the Roof was really cool. But I think my favorite role was the Lion in the Wizard of Oz. However, I think my favorite play to be a part of while we were in school to my knowledge, it was Zach's first play. He played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. And that was my favorite. I think that was just that was to me where I like my role outfit. I'm very obviously I didn't have a child until about a year ago. But I've always felt like that fatherly kind of like loving, adoring kind of person. And I'm a little crazy, so fit me being crazy old Maurice. So that was my favorite one to be in was Beauty and the Beast.
I just remember in that one that I didn't want to do the dances, and I didn't want to learn any of the dances, so I just pretended to be a drunk during the drunk scenes or the bars.
That hat that I wore in Beauty and the Beast, I'm telling you what, I'd pay $500 to have one of those things. I would wear that everywhere.
You were also a pepper shaker, right?
Yes,
I was either salt or pepper because James was the other one.
Hilarious.
I actually have it on my phone from when I did a little plethora of photos when Bo was getting married.
Oh, here we go. We'll have to post some of these on the Facebook page.
We may have to post. We may have to post the video. So after we did Fiddler, we all went to B-Dubs after.
Oh my gosh.
We took over B-Dubs, and like the one side of B-Dubs, it was all of us just singing and having a good time.
If anybody was at B-Dubs that day that was working, you're welcome for your free performance of Fiddler on the Roof, because I think y'all sang. It was actually St. Patty's Day. Because I remember I didn't sit with y'all, but I sat at the bar and had a green beer, and I remember everybody was back there singing every song, and they got to like the first one that I was in, and they're like, you got to do it. So Yeah, there's some videos that I may
So
or may
much
not regret of performing in the middle of a Buffalo Wild Wings at like 22 years old.
I
I
think
bet
we
they
can
do.
all I think we can all agree that theater was just some of the best memories of our lives.
It was.
Yep.
Like just the little things that you remember. Like I remember doing chair races. So we would start on the front and we would run on the backs of the theater chairs and to see whoever made it back furthest. Oh my
See,
gosh, it's so much fun.
we never did that. We just broke things. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
rehearsal, what was it, 2 days before Charlie Brown debuted and Zach put his foot through the roof of
The roof.
Snoopy's doghouse.
I thought Mrs. C was gonna kill me.
Yep.
Oh.
What was it? And then
Yeah.
and then wasn't it the
Fiddler on the
rap?
Roof? Fiddler on the Roof. Somebody donated a family heirloom butter churn and explained to this one girl, hey, don't break this butter churn, just to be
Oh, God.
really careful with it. And it was our first performance, and it's, you guys remember we always performed a matinee during the school day for the middle school.
Mhm.
And this girl picked up that butter churn and walked off stage, and everyone heard this shatter and some foul language being exposed.
Oh no.
And this nice family that donated this, their heirloom butter churn was destroyed in
Oh.
about 27 pieces.
We did, however, we did manage to piece it back together, and we kindly gave it back to them. So it all kind of evened out in the end. I remember not really. I also remember in Fiddler when we were getting ready for the bar scene, and they were getting ready to move the bar out, and all the glasses were still on the bar top, and they fell and shattered. And I was standing with my one friend across the stage, and we heard them shatter, and he looked at me and he was like, well, that was expensive.
So you guys use actual glass mugs?
Some
No,
of
they
them
were
yeah.
well,
The
they had a
bottles
couple of the
were.
glass ones that had like the mugs that you can freeze because they've got the liquid in them.
Okay.
So they
'Cause
like sloshed.
When we did Guys and Dolls my senior year, I'm not gonna get started on that, Zach. But okay, no, I will. When we did Guys and Dolls, we used breakaway glass bottles for bar scene fights. We used mugs, all this stuff. I got body slammed through a table every night of that play. Like the table literally broke over my face. Like I got slammed face first through the table. I kind of pride myself on being the stunt dummy of the theater program, my 4 years that I was there.
I mean, I died in every play aside from Fiddler. So like Phantom, my character, I got hanged by the Phantom. And we dropped like this dummy down from the top, and oh my God, it was awesome.
Right. So Jason and I were talking, Zach, I'm sorry, we're kind of stealing your thunder here, buddy.
No, you're good.
Jason and I were talking the other day about like props that we got to keep from the plays.
Mhm.
And so I was telling Jason, like, I got to keep, I was Charlie Brown. So I kept my kite from the kite scene in Charlie Brown. I had a big pair of scissors from the Ozian scene. And actually Amanda, who is now my wife, was the girl who would cut my hair in Oz. Anyway, so we're talking about props. And then Jason, as he just stated, he was hung in the Phantom of the Opera. Jason has his noose.
Oh, Jesus.
My character carries around a noose. And so in my room at my parents' house, there is a small noose.
My goodness.
I don't remember if did you keep any props from anything you've been in, Zach?
From Charlie Brown, when we had those like big foam things depicting like some of the scenes. After we put down that set, I took one of those home. My mom was not thrilled. It's like huge in my room still. But I didn't keep anything else really.
I was gonna say I only had the one thing from Charlie Brown, I think, was the sword that Austin Ferguson stabbed me with. Oh no, I lied. I have got a wad of the fake $100 bills that we used in Guys and Dolls for all of the gambling scenes. I use those as my bookmarks now.
That show.
That
was a fun show.
That was a shit show of a fun show.
Speaking of
Zach,
shows,
sorry.
well, I was just gonna say hilarious that you mentioned Wizard of Oz, because one of my fondest memories of Wizard of Oz is James and him in the hot air balloon that had no wheels that he had to scoot off.
And that he had his lines
His lines
inside it because he
literally had the script book in the butt. He said, "All right, I'm leaving." We were like, "Okay, bye."
So
wait,
speaking of the kite, there's the kite.
Hey,
there we go.
Charlie Brown. Yeah, been in the basement.
Another thing that I always kept was the little cards that you would get if people gave you flowers.
Yeah,
little cards that you got. I always kept those. I have them in a giant stack at home with all the programs and stuff.
So speaking of these plays, I just want to add, what was your favorite song that you've ever performed? But before you go, I'm just going to tell you that my all-time favorite song out of all the years that I've been in theater, not the ones that I sang, but the song that you sang was freshman year, right before intermission, Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember the name.
Her. If I
that
can't
song. Yep. I still get goosebumps thinking about that, because as a freshman in high school, you got a standing ovation when you did that. Like it was insane.
Thank you. I look back and I wonder like how much differently I would sing that now, because freshman year me was still going through puberty in some aspects, and my voice was just not there.
I'm sure we have that recording somewhere. You should take some time and go back and try to just record yourself singing again, just for nostalgia's sake. I think. Yeah.
To make sure that your neighbors know what you're doing, so they don't hear you just belting this song out in the middle of the night.
My neighbor, he's really sad right now because I'm gonna come check him out.
I think they would absolutely 100% come up here and kill me if I sang that loud. But that's a good question. Does anyone else have an answer to that question? And come back to me.
My favorite song I ever performed was "If I Were a Rich Man." Obviously, that was me coming back from I was in college. But a song from being in high school, my favorite song to perform was probably a song that a lot of us have some PTSD from. And it was Book Report on Peter Rabbit.
Oh,
Just because of the shenanigans that took place attempting to memorize that song. I think Charlie Brown as a whole was an awesome musical because we didn't have to act per se. Other than Zach, who obviously played a dog, and you have to act a little different, in an animal role than you expect with Donkey. But I think all of us really just got to act ourselves. We didn't have to put on much of a different voice. It was very much like an off-Broadway kind of a play thing where a lot of those characters don't have to get accents and things. They just kind of can be themselves and really open up. I think Charlie Brown was that kind of release. I like Book Report on Peter Rabbit.
I would say probably in the same vein, Charlie Brown, just because there was a smaller cast and I was lucky enough to be part of that cast. I think there were 10 of us. So I think that would probably be mine. But
my favorite scene with Zach was Supper Time.
Yes, I was just about to say Supper Time. I think for high school, Supper Time would be a favorite for me, just because of how ridiculous that became. The scene went
like
on.
The choir following you around. It was awesome.
Yeah, just like being. First of all, I was always the animal for some reason, or some inanimate object. Like
Beast, you really were. You were Beast. You were the donkey.
Man, just never human.
Tin Man.
Never human, really. A donkey. So really, the times that I got to be human, I really cherish. But no, Supper Time was a great time for me. For sure.
So speaking of times that you weren't an animal, do you remember the one play that we did that was not a musical? Yep, he remembers it.
Yes.
Natalie Needs a Nightie. Yep.
And honestly, that show, like Aaliyah's dad had recorded it, and I still want to see it because I have not seen it yet, but we did one performance of it, one night only.
Yep.
And there was a scene, I was talking to Aaliyah, and she was the maid. I was the maintenance guy of the wherever, because I don't really know.
Maintenance guy.
Sure, yeah, whatever. And so I was supposed to be hiding in the apartment that the play took place in, and I went to go run to hide, and my boot slipped off, and it just like hit a wall. Me and Aaliyah didn't know what to do. We just laughed for like 5 minutes straight and didn't really know how to continue. So that was a good time.
I remember Missy kind of, she told me, she's like, okay, me and Nick Fry kind of like helped direct that show. So I was standing off screen or off stage with a headset on, and we were all muted and we were all cracking up laughing. The entire crowd was laughing. Took them 10 minutes to get under control. Aaliyah had tears in her eyes.
Yeah, it was a time and a half.
You're talking about like blunders in a scene. The only scene blunder that I can remember was the psychiatric scene in Charlie Brown. I mean, that was, was going to see the doctor, and it was like psychiatric or something is what the sign said. And I remember I sat down at like her booth, and Carrie's not there. Carrie played Lucy, and she was not there. And I said, I think 3 times, each time progressively louder, I wonder where Lucy is. And then finally, Carrie just showed up. And she was like, sorry, I was talking with Nick, and I was Nick Kincato. And I was like, well, it doesn't matter.
Here we go. So, you know what? This might be a little inside joke for everybody here. Speaking of Charlie Brown, Zach, we have a running joke between Mark and Kyle.
Oh.
Zach,
here we go.
I have a feeling I know where this is going, and
it has to deal with a blue chair. Zach, we need to know.
Nothing out with me. So
well,
okay, that answers
it. There's only 2 people that it can be. We don't need to name those 2 people, but
it was not me. I'll tell you that much.
All right, that answers our question because Kyle has denied it all of these years. So okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
No, okay. Whew. But speaking of Nick and Cotto, just that kid going from a teacup.
You went from
yeah, that kid, yeah, he really did.
He went from 3'2" in a little teacup to jacked.
I mean, he literally was like, I could have snapped him with my thumb and my index finger on a bad day. He could probably bench press me.
Now he looks like this.
I mean, he is jacked now.
He is a big dude. Shout out to Nick and Cotto.
There we go.
But Jason, you got one before we move on to our draft here?
Yeah, so I got 2. One being L'Chaim, just because it was such a fun one, because that was one of those ones where we just kind of got to act dumb and be ourselves, because we were supposed to be drunk and drinking and having fun. So that one was fun. Another one, probably my favorite one though, like song wise, would be Heaven Helps the Man from Footloose. That choreography sucked. It was like burpees, jumping jacks, push-ups. I had to run around the stage. Oh my, it was so exhausting. But that song is one of my favorites. So those 2.
Remember the jitterbug from The Wizard of Oz? That dance. That was the toughest dance I ever did. I'm not much of a dancer. When I dance too much, if I jump around too much, I'll cause an earthquake. So I just
forgot about that.
That dance was intense.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm glad that I had the part of the flying monkey in that. I didn't have to do any of the dances.
Oh, Mark, I forgot about that.
All I had to do on that was just run around and jump into the crowd.
Kind of what you do on a typical Thursday anyway.
Which, hold on, I just want to point out one time, I love her, Miss Strauss, English teacher from Buckeye Local. I apologize. I don't think I've ever apologized to her, but when we did our show for the high school, middle school, like the matinee, they kind of blinded me with a spotlight. So I had a scene where I ran down one side and I jumped up onto a platform. And I had a little thing with Liza where my voice was really high pitch. And then I took off running. Excuse me. And we had a catwalk that was built halfway out through the crowd. Well, that was the yellow brick road. And I ran and I jumped off it into the aisleway between the 2 rows of the crowd. And I ran up the aisleway out into the lobby. Well, I jumped off and they had the spotlight on me. I couldn't see where the aisle was. My foot landed on the armrest. I landed in the thing and I had wings, probably a 5-foot wingspan. And I smacked Miss Strauss square in the face with those wings. And I don't think I've ever truly apologized to her. So Miss Strauss, you're probably not listening to this, but if you are, I am sorry.
I deserve that.
Those
remember in the Wizard of Oz when Carrie was walking on the yellow brick road and the dog fell off and she's like carrying the dog off of it, and I'm like, we can't do this.
That's right, because we used a real dog, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. And then who kicked the fluorescent black light and shattered it? And then on some random scene, Miss C handed me a broom and says, "Sweep the stage." And I'm like, yeah, that's fitting.
That works.
I remember that.
It's the tornado scene, and they're like, I'm like, hey, how you doing, guys? Just a janitor here. I'll see you in a few scenes. Like,
all right, so we can't leave the theater talk without bringing up the most infamous part of our high school experience, and that was Charlie Brown dress rehearsals. Like
everybody freeze.
2 days before the show started, we had it was book report, wasn't it?
No, it was. I thought it was the ending because it was happiness. It was happiness, and we're all happy we got through it. And Miss C screams at my wife for no reason.
No, that's not what happened first. She goes, "Everybody freeze!" Yep. Sorry, Mom, I'm about to use some language. Kyle,
you do every other week.
Kyle started talking, and she just yells, "Kyle, shut the fuck up!" Amanda, we thought, was laughing, and she goes, "Amanda, are you laughing?" And Amanda goes, "No, I'm crying."
True story.
So, and then I had to be the bearer of bad news and tell her that I had to leave and go to baseball practice.
That was a great day.
She was screaming. She was not happy. Long story short, the end of that year for our thespian dinner, she had a shirts made that on the back of it, after it said Buckeye Local Thespians, on the back said "Everybody Freeze," and in the letters of the shirt were her face screaming.
Yep, that shirt's amazing.
That might be one of
bright green,
bright neon green. That's probably.
It wasn't that year though. It wasn't that year. No, because I do not have that shirt.
Oh, it was our senior year then.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it was your senior year.
Because I remember we all went to her house for the thespian dinner, and we have a picture in her front lawn of it. Mm-hmm. But that's probably one of my best memories from high school.
Shout outs to Mrs. C. She's a great one.
She is. Kyle honestly texted me.
Best teacher I've ever had.
Kyle FaceTimed me the other day and goes, "Do you know who I miss? Miss Sobolski." I was like, "I know where she lives. You want to go visit her? Like, you want to go hang out?"
She was not my favorite teacher that I had in high school, but she was one of the top 5 best teachers that I think I've ever had, and definitely in high school. Was one of them.
By far my most influential teacher.
I think you spent the most time with her. You know, I don't know Zach and Bo's answer, but I mean, obviously, my most influential teacher had to be Mr. Bill Stevens.
Absolutely.
And I think that's obviously because of where I spent the most time in school.
Same.
You know, with all the different bands and the choirs and the jazz band and all that stuff. You know, I think that's, and in theater. I mean, he helped a little bit kind of when I joined my sophomore year. He did very little with the theater, and then he kind of phased himself away from everything. But
your sophomore year would have been what? Back to the 80s?
No. Would have.
Yeah, because that was my freshman year.
Yeah, and that was when we did Beauty and the Beast.
No, my sophomore year was Beauty and the Beast because Zach was a freshman.
That's right. Because I was only in 2 plays, technically 2 2 spring plays, whatever. We did the one as like the Charlie Brown was the one that was my senior year, before we did Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So I remember you guys did Shrek, I think the next year, and that was the play I told Missy. I was like, we should do Shrek.
Yeah, that was the year after I graduated.
I have 2 roles in my life I would love to play in a musical somewhere in my lifetime. One of them is more recent. I would love to be George Washington one day in Hamilton.
Yes.
And then I would love to be Shrek in Shrek. If we don't have any community theaters around here, I mean, West Virginia has some stuff.
Towngate is the only one.
Yeah. If there was a closer local like community theater, I would definitely join. I'm not a great actor, nor am I a great singer, but I definitely enjoy being on the stage.
So speaking of Hamilton, I could definitely see Mark as George Washington and Zach definitely 100% without a doubt Aaron Burr.
It's funny that you say that because I feel like as a person who has not the best luck, I do find myself in situations similar to Aaron Burr quite often. So I agree with you.
Bo and I were
second best.
We were talking just a while ago. Bo and I do this a lot. We talk about a musical, and we're like, "Hey, who would have been good when we were in school?" And yeah, we've talked about Hamilton. Hamilton's been a tough one though, figuring out where we'd put a lot of our friends. But that's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah. So wrapping up that conversation, let's move into our draft this evening. And tonight we're going to be drafting our favorite TV theme songs. It's a little bit off topic of the theater, but not many of you. I don't know as many theater songs as Zach does, so it'd probably be unfair. Zach would wipe the floor with us. But so like I said, we're drafting favorite TV theme songs. Zach, just for reference, after you make your pick, type it in the chat because I'll just send the chat out and we'll type it up.
Okay.
But so, guest first. Zach will get the first pick, then Jason, and then we had a tie in our hold on. No, we had a tie until about 20 minutes before the podcast started. And I told my wife that she needed to vote because she hadn't voted yet. Okay. And she picked Mark. She did not pick me, but for the draft of our favorite theater snacks, she picked Mark. So Mark ended up winning the draft. So Mark gets the championship back-to-back picks.
I just want to say,
I got a
Bo,
whole whopping 0 picks. So
yes, Jason got 0 picks.
Just need to say, Bo.
Yes, Mark.
I have now tied Kyle for the most wins in the Deep Impact podcast draft here.
You did. But Kyle's not here to defend himself, so we can talk.
I don't need Kyle Sharkfin to be here to defend himself. I just needed to gloat for a second. Okay.
Am I the first one to not get a vote?
No, James has gotten first draft. James got a goose egg.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even remember what the first draft was, but that's neither here nor there. So, Mr. Zach Kaiser, with your fresh haircut, what would you like to choose as your first?
All right, my first pick is going to be Danny Phantom.
Oh,
that's a good one. A show I never even thought about for the song, man. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a game changer.
It's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that show now.
Yeah.
It's on what, Paramount Plus?
I've been watching a lot of old shows like that recently.
I'll tell you what, I just went back and I started watching Looney Tunes from the beginning. 1934 was the first episode.
Wow. Yes. I did never guess that.
HBO Max, 31 seasons, 6 minutes an episode. Go enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, we should do a good I mean, we're still kind of in the topics of drafts. We should do a TV show draft one day, like best series on like Netflix, Hulu, streaming series.
It's on the list.
Yeah, cartoon characters. That'd be another good one.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, Jason.
Sorry to disrupt.
Yeah.
Okay, so my pick, second overall, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, bitch.
Of course.
Oh, Jason.
That's a good one. Looks like Mr. Kaiser had that on his list too.
That's a good one. All right. So I wasn't going to take this first overall, but given the state of how this is going with those 2 picks, I'm taking Golden Girls.
Son. All right, well, we're done because Bo pandered. Bo's never seen Golden Girls, and before Bo says he's seen Golden Girls, he can't name you anybody other than Betty White. that played in the Golden Girls. Okay, so don't
Rose,
no
Blanche,
don't
Sophia, and
yeah.
So what are their
Uh-huh.
actual names?
Hear me
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
Hear me out. I was going to pander with this pick.
See, I'll be
But
honest.
I
That was
would-
going to be
but
my
I-
first pick, and I've only seen a handful of episodes.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I
while
would
I'm
go-
attacking Bo,
Listen,
I
I'm
would
just
go
saying,
against my rule and never pander. So
I'm just saying, it's a banger of a song.
It is.
That's-
yeah, hey Bo,
is,
thank
yeah.
you for being a friend. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since Bo took my pick, I'm gonna go with. Listen, if you don't listen, you might not know the words to this song, but this song is a bop. And if you disagree, I will fight you. It is the Full House intro.
Oh, you asshole!
That song is a bop. You know, and listen, I know this one is probably not on a lot of people's list, but I enjoy to whistle every now and again, so I gotta go with the good Andy Griffith show.
Cool. Okay. That's
I do love a good whistle session with myself. So
You can.
yeah, Andy Griffith show.
Great show. I'm not a big fan of the theme song though.
Yeah, see, I do enjoy. Why are you laughing, Jason? I said a good whistle session with myself. You can just stop laughing over there.
So with the 6th overall pick, I'm taking one that a lot of people might not like. I personally love it. Family Guy theme song.
Oh, that's a good one. Good old Seth
It's a good
MacFarlane.
Good old Seth MacFarlane.
Okay.
Jason.
ladies and gentlemen,
Oh God.
Deep Impact.
cheers.
Listen, I've never seen an episode of Cheers.
Me either.
You need to watch it.
I know that there's a mailman on there named Cliff Clavin, and that's about it.
Cheers is phenomenal.
It's on my list. It's on what, Netflix, I think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on a streaming service. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. What are we on? I can't count. So
8.
I'm all about throwbacks, and my next pick is All That.
Ooh.
The All
Yeah.
That theme song is
Yeah.
All That, to say the least.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, now you got another one, Zach.
All right, let's see. What do I want next? I'm gonna do it. We're gonna go American Dragon. Remember that show?
I don't know
No.
that show.
I do remember that show.
Thank you. I
Is
did.
is that the cartoon?
Yep. I
Wait,
watched
is
a
that
lot
a
of
Jackie
Disney Channel.
Chan show?
I think it's Jackie Chan. It
Oh,
is.
is that a-
Number
Gosh.
10, MASH.
So, quick side note: that song is titled "Suicide is Painless," and it was also written by like a 12-year-old. The words to the song were
Well,
written by
Jason just got my mom's pick.
false. I'm gonna get your mom's vote with my next pick, and I'm 100% sure that I'm going to.
Yeah? I'm
Yes.
taking this one, even though I know it'll come back to me. Dukes of Hazzard. Just them good
Okay.
old boys.
So
Yeah,
I
I
need
did
Debbie
know that.
Walker. I need Debbie Walker to listen to this part of the podcast only. Debbie Walker will vote for me because I'm picking Gilligan's Island.
No, she won't. She likes MASH
She
better
will.
than Gilligan's Island.
False. I was
She has
instructed
seen-
today. I was instructed today by her sister and her niece that if I picked Gilligan's Island, I would be selected. And if
I
I'm
don't
not,
think that's true.
I'm going to have
I-
to fight Ashley and Cindy.
I
It's gonna
FaceTimed my mother before this, and she said, "You better pick MASH as your first pick." So, Jason,
I'm
congratulations
texting your
on
mother
getting at least
right
one vote
now.
with this pick.
No, you can't text. No, you can't
Can,
text.
can you
her.
can you at least pick your first pick before you text my mom? It's a little weird, but pick your next pick.
I said, better vote for me.
Okay. Well, he hasn't voted on the last
cheat.
two, so
It's true. This is nostalgic for me. Pokemon.
oh, how many picks do I have left? 2?
Yes, sir.
Number 14. Oh God, I really want to pick another one, but this one might get me the youth pick here. Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
It's a
Mhm.
good one. That's a good one. I had that
Yep.
one on my list.
That's a good.
That's a good one.
I have a lot of Nickelodeon shows on here. They just went hard for.
I'm surprised you haven't picked
years.
Scooby Doo. Like Scooby Doo's your thing.
Scooby Doo is my thing, but I didn't pick Scooby Doo.
I didn't even know the Scooby Doo theme song, to be honest with you.
Jason, just pick.
Number 15, The Office.
You can take it any day of the week, all day.
I think Jason's gonna win this draft because of a couple of them. Jason won, so
Jason
congratulations
might
on
win
your
this
first
draft
win
better.
next week.
Jason
If I
might go
don't-
from worst to first.
If
I got
don't-
$5
if I
on
do not
Jason.
win, if I do not win this draft, I'm retiring from the draft and I will be the commissioner of the draft from now on if I lose this week.
Just so we're aware, I'm quite munchy right now. I haven't had dinner yet, and I'm eating
He's
my
eating
daughter's puffs.
Hey, the puffs are good. I don't even have any kids, but I rock with the puffs. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, they are so good. These are blueberry puffs.
Wow. Is it my pick?
Yeah, your
Sure.
last two, buddy.
All right. So I have up next Shameless. If you've not watched Shameless, great theme song. Gets me going every time. And then my last pick. Ooh, this is tough. I don't know about the cartoon, so I'm gonna go Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, that's a good one.
A good one. Yeah.
Oh, I always loved the mashup episodes they did with Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
Those were the good
Like a
ones.
power hour or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jason. Last
Okay.
pick, buddy.
I can't believe Jason hasn't picked like his favorite cartoon to watch.
It's not a good theme song though.
Yeah, but you're probably. I don't think we're thinking of the same one.
Hmm.
Once he
KOH?
picks, you tell me.
I'm thinking
Huh?
KOH. King of the Hill.
No, that's not his. Wow. Well, that was something I had thought he would pick, but no, that's not his favorite cartoon.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh God.
It was between that or King of the Hill.
Okay.
Oh, see, I was right. I was like, I figured you'd pick both of them at some point.
I want to give Jason a run for his money on this one. I think he's got it.
No, you're
But-
pandering. Don't pander.
No, I love this show. I've seen every episode of it 4 times at least. Friends.
I was gonna pick that one to pander, but I didn't.
Ugh.
I'm thinking
Hashtag
Golden
never
Girls and
pander.
Friends might put me over the edge.
If you removed the recorded laughter from Friends, everybody in the world would find out how unfunny that show is. And yes, I did steal that from somebody on social media at some point in my life. However, Friends is not a funny show. It's a decent show. It's
Maybe
not
you
funny.
just don't have the right sense of humor.
I think he just has more than 2 brain cells.
Okay, Zach.
Correct.
Shut up.
Man, I'm kind of torn right now.
I have some honorable mentions, by the way, after you're done.
Part of me wants to pick a song, that has no words, I guess is what I mean by
I
a
didn't know
song.
that was an option because I wrote a couple down, but I say go for it.
All right. I'm just gonna write this and Game of Thrones.
Oh,
That was yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
awesome theme song.
it
Yes,
is.
it
You know,
It gets me
yeah,
fired up.
it's really good. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, you should take like a year of your life and watch it because it's not. It's a time commitment. Let's be honest. It's
Take
not
a
like
year
a
of your life
weekend.
and then don't watch the last season. Just let your imagination.
Unpopular opinion. I didn't hate the last season.
I hated
didn't
the ending.
love it.
Yeah, I hated the ending.
Did you ever read
Can I
the
just-
books?
Can I
They're
just say
not finished
spoiler?
though.
Can I just
No.
spoiler alert for a show that came out
No.
3 years ago?
All right, sure. Fine.
They said who has a better story than Bran? Literally anybody on the show.
Who was the first character that died? Because they probably did.
It was the guy from the Night's Watch that got decapitated by the White Walker.
Wildlings.
No, it was a White Walker.
Oh, that's right. They assumed it was a wildling for a little while.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since I just finished up the draft, good pick to everybody. An honorable mention for me that was the song I was debating between was the Grey's Anatomy theme song.
That's a good one.
But
I
I
actually-
haven't watched Grey's since Shonda Rhimes was like, what's going to make great TV? Let's kill every character that anybody ever has liked and then it'll be great TV. And we're like, false. Just make a different storyline, and we don't have to kill them. Have them like, I don't want them to die. If they have to leave the show, that's one thing, but it's ridiculous. And like the 6 episodes from this most recent season where it was just Meredith walking on the beach talking to her boyfriend, I'm like, not about this anymore.
So I actually had 4 honorable mentions. I had 14 on my list, and 10 of them got taken. So I had the Big Bang Theory theme song.
Oh,
Great one. It's a great song, great show, great band. The Bare Naked Ladies. Yep. I had Drake and Josh.
Oh,
yeah.
Decent.
Yeah.
Now think about these next 2. All right. I just close your eyes and think. iCarly.
Nope.
Nostalgic, but
Yes. And then Maddie gave me this one. Zoe 101.
Oh,
no, I'm mad at her.
yes.
No, you didn't. I'm mad at her. Nah.
Are you mad? Are you mad at my wife, or are you mad at Zoe?
No, I wouldn't be mad at Maddie. I'm mad at Zoe. I'm mad at that show because listen,
girl,
how are they
you
gonna
should have
end
went
the
with
show like
Chase.
that?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Well, no, she got pregnant and they had to end the show.
Correct,
That's
and I'm
true.
still angry.
Jamie Lynn Spears, you're ruining my childhood over here.
What I got another honorable mention for me was Dexter's Lab.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Had a good theme song.
All of those Cartoon Network shows are on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So I might have to go back and watch some of them.
You know what was just like that just kind of went doot several times in different notes was Ed, Ed and Eddie, but that was still a dope theme song.
Honorable mention for me, Law and Order SVU. Just
Dum, dum.
Yep.
Bum, bum.
It's 2 notes.
Yep, and you already know. Just
Oh, and Jeopardy. That's another good.
Oh, Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. Yeah, Jeopardy was an honorable mention for me.
Did you see they renamed the stage the Alex Trebek stage?
I did see that.
Yeah.
I just can't watch it anymore.
It's not the same.
No.
It really isn't. The questions have gotten a lot easier too. I've answered a lot more lately.
Proud of
And
you.
that's saying
Hey,
something.
thanks, man. Thanks.
You should sign up to compete for the junior
Side
club.
note, I just plugged my laptop in and my power bar is at 0%. I'm gonna take a picture of it to prove that it's at 0% on how close I was to not participating anymore.
Oh god, that's good. But I think that might wrap up the episode for tonight. Is that everything we had to cover? You guys think?
Yeah. Hey Jason, where can they find us?
Wherever you get your podcasts. We are on.
Specifically.
We are on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube. I feel like I'm missing something.
Quick little plug. Spotify is now coming out with video podcasts, so you'll be able to watch this podcast on Spotify. Go give it a like, a listen, a follow, a watch. You can find us on our Facebook page, Deep Impact Podcast. Same with our Instagram page. Yep, follow the link tree there. Go like and subscribe. Hit the bell on YouTube.
Ding.
I was gonna say Kyle's not here. He usually does the pating. But yeah. But yeah, that's you can find us there. Go like, go subscribe, go interact with our posts. Tell us what you would like to see us draft. And if there's anybody else that you would like to see us have on the episode. Go download Anchor. Go download the Anchor app. Get on anchor.fm.com if you're thinking about starting your own podcast. Easiest place to start a podcast. Editing tools, and you can record it right from the website.
Hey, big thanks to Zach Kaiser all the way from New York, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me. It was
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. We'll have to get you on again here when the other two aren't being jagaloons and not participating.
Yeah, you can participate with us and draft some more things and have fun.
for sure.
Absolutely. So I know I'm saying this a week later than you guys will hear it, but everybody have a safe St. Patrick's Day.
Don't drink and drive.
Yep, don't drink and drive. I'm not going to because I'm at home. So
Correct.
We'll see you guys here same time, same place next week. Bye.
Bye.